Well, it looks like the clickbait kids strike again, chums. Oh, absolutely. Because, of course, if you're really struggling and you've had a lot of bad press, well, of course, now Meghan and Harry realise the only thing that they feel is completely now interesting about them is to invite their children, which in my opinion always looks like, one of those crime scene drawouts. You never really see them, do you? Yet the mainstream media insist on billing them as adorable pictures of Meghan and Harry's children, helping, of course, at a food bank or whatever they're doing this time around. Of course, everybody clicks on to find that really, once again, they're simply silhouettes because, of course, the money has not come knocking big enough for Meghan Markle to expose her children. It's only a matter of time, absolutely. The clock is ticking, and I told you this over 2 years ago now. Meghan Markle will expose her children the moment that she gets the big enough check, and of course it will be done in a tasteful way, no doubt with a charity attached. But what's interesting here about this particular latest event, where Meghan and Harry showed up to do good, right, one of their mottos, at a charitable event in LA, a big kitchen or something like that, where Harry was seen putting mince into a box and peppers, and Meghan giggling with that hair hanging down in all of that food. Nobody, of course, dare say, Mom, Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, could you just put your hair up, it just doesn't look good. Nobody tells the Duchess what to do, right? We've learned that lesson. But here's where this gets particularly interesting that you may have not seen. As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me, and welcome back one and all. Hope you're all getting ready for Christmas. I don't know about you, I saw some quality streets the other day, and then I saw this feature online telling you how less there's now in the quality streets, how all the wrappers look bland and boring, and it's the plastic tub and it's half it was and everything. We know everything gets cut down, right, the shrinkflation and everything, but that was magical, wasn't it? The quality street tin was a magical moment. If your mum and dad got that, you knew Christmas was on its way, and it was only open normally around about Christmas Eve, and then normally demolished by Boxing Day, wasn't it? Because everybody got their hand in, and everybody just loved all of the delights and the wonderful chocolates. It's not the same anymore, is it? The plastic tubs, the soulless wrappers, you know what I mean? You could spend hours unwrapping that glittery paper, couldn't you? Yes, it was just something absolutely to do, you know what I mean? Well, have a quick wave anyway. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Let me know what was your trigger moment, in fact, for Christmas. What did your mum and dad do that you knew Christmas and, school was ended or whatever, and you were on your way? I'd love to know. Do share that. What was the starting point? Always lovely to know from the chums. Let's get back, of course, to your royal story of the day. This was supposed to grab a lot of headlines, and Meghan and Harry are putting the thumb screws on now on a daily basis, just ahead of Catherine's carols at Christmas, which of course is being recorded in less than a week's time. So consequently, Meghan wants to let the world know that she's a true Duchess, and when you enter a room and you're announced to an audience of one, you get the picture. So they turned up at this food bank, right? And what was interesting about this is, again, she's now wheeled Harry in because she knows that it's just not cutting it with the Instagram things of her stuffing a turkey or whatever she's doing unhygienically. As I said, we're all guilty of certain things, but when you're going on camera, you have to think, does this look right? But all really Meghan cares about is the soundtrack. No, correct that. The soft lighting, then the soundtrack, making sure that she looks an absolute best. Not a hint of 43% Nigerian anymore, is there? She seems to have almost lost that bronzer. Yeah, I don't know whether she's waiting for one in the Christmas box or something, but you never see her looking any dark shade right now. It doesn't suit the narrative, you see. Meghan's moved on. Nigeria, where's that? Not bothered. Get the picture. What is interesting, though, is this particular food bank. You think, oh, very sweet, very nice. There's Archie and Lily, of course, clickbait kids. And the bottom line is we're supposed to be engrossed by this. Nobody was. It didn't really cut the mustard. Yes, national newspapers put it in, but not at the level they did. And they're seeing that that's going down. But what you will have missed is this. You see, when you look further down, a lot of the supporters in this particular charitable kitchen, and there's a lot of supporters, and one might suggest, of course, a rather big organisation, if you get the picture. Well, one of them is Netflix, right? So this was a deal through Netflix to basically say, show up at one of our things, we'll film it, and then consequently you can use it for promotion to let people know you're a good person putting out food at Christmas. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure their intentions were good. Did you notice this though? You see, this is the clever bit, right? If you remember when Harry and Meghan literally went all the way over to Canada earlier this year, Meghan Markle bedecked in designer outfits, right? Expensive frocks, all that sort of stuff. Whether she gave them back, debatable. Up there, again, allegedly, right? But if you remember, she never wore any of the apparel for the merchandise for Invictus. But here, she's more than happy to have on a Archwell Foundation apron. So is Harry, right? So they're promoting their own brand, their own charitable endeavour inside a Netflix-inspired charitable event. You get the picture. So why does she want to do that for that? Well, it's quite simple. Harry and Meghan do not earn anything from the merchandise of Invictus. Their deal really is to be the ambassadors or whatever he is, the founder, you know, the sort of thing. So Meghan, very astute as ever, only really wears things like, you know, the bags that she invested in, the coffee company that, you know, Oprah Winfrey said was great. You get the picture. Hence the reason the Archwell Foundation, it's a tap back into reminding people that they're charitable, but more importantly, you know, perhaps you now might want to invest in them because their charity donations have rapidly gone down. So what started out as a wonderful, charitable, warm, cuddly event, well, the reality is, of course, once again, one might suggest it's benefiting an audience of two. And we're not talking Prince Lily at take two. And we're not talking, of course, Prince Archie and Princess Lily. Oh, and by the way, no pictures were allowed. And this is another little piece, right? All the staff had to, you know, put the phones away. Nobody was allowed to take pictures. And of course, everybody had to address them as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, whatever they say. And what was interesting about that also, when you think about it, is what fun it must be each time Harry and Meghan turn up at these events knowing it's not just an informal thing where, you know, you see Prince William happy to turn up at shelter or the homeless charities. No, everything is very much detailed. This is very much a promotional visit, whichever way they wish to paint it. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.